guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is a Sunday here in Amsterdam. I think it's the 28th, is it? 27th of February, and it is beautiful, blue skies, nice and warm, sunny. Yeah, I'm going to film a video today. Excuse for the background, it's a bit messy. I need to take out things, busy cleaning and all of that. But I quickly wanted to sit here and film a video because I've been saying at the end of like all my previous videos that I'm going to film a video, just giving you some tips or points on some some motivational things for studying. And this can be whether you are in school, normal studies, doing like just a quick course or whatever. If you need any motivation or just to hear from someone else's perspective, like what they did, this is the video for you. Just to give you background, I'm a chartered accountant. I qualified 3 years ago. So I studied, I finished university 6 years ago, and then I finished my articles 3 years ago. So it's been 6 years since I properly was at university, but then I did like 2 board courses, so I was still studying basically for the 3 years ago. So if you want to hear anything about this, I have a notebook here just with some points, just so that I just don't ramble, because I do have a lot of things to say on this topic. So I'm going to give you 5 points and speak about that and try to keep it short and sweet. But yes, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and then let's get started. That came out weird. Let's get started. And point 1 is don't compare yourself to others. So this is a huge point. I just wanted to put it in there first and foremost because I had quite some pressure when I studied, from myself, from people around me, and from my parents. You know, I think it's like normal for parents to put pressure on your children because you just want them to do great. But I also put pressure on myself, and I just want to put it out there, like, put pressure on yourself just to always perform your best and to give your best, but don't put pressure on yourself to do better than the person next to you, to do the best of the classroom. Like, as long as you pass, you're fine, you're totally fine. Like, I'm not saying that you should just pass and that should be it. It's just, if you are giving it your best, or just at least giving it enough, and you are just passing by, that's fine. I have people that done less good or worse than me in comparison to marks, and they are doing such a good job now in their career and everything. So it doesn't mean like if you study and you pass with a 70% degree, and someone that passes with 90%, that person is gonna be better in work one day. That's just not it. So don't put that pressure on yourself to compare yourself to others. Worry on your own journey. Don't worry about the rest. Like, that's not important. Focus on yourself, even if other people say different. Me looking back now, it doesn't matter whether you're in top 10, whether you're the top person, prestigious in your class or year group. Like, obviously it makes up some opportunities, but it's not the end of the world, like, really not. Then the second point is to put in the hours and to be honest with yourself. So I will just quickly touch on this one. Basically, I just want to say, like, you just need to sit and study. These points or tips that I'm giving is things that you probably already know. It's not new things. It's just, I wanted to give it like what I was thinking in my head, but it's not new things. As I was writing it down, I was like, it's not going to be new things for you guys, but it's maybe just something you know and you're aware of, and just hearing it from someone else again, you're like, you know it and you need to do it, or need to do more of it. So the second one of putting in the hours is make sure that you actually sit at your desk, on your bed, however you study, and put in those hours. And those hours are not just behind doors in your dorm room, at home, wherever you sit and study. It's also going to the classes. It's so important because it's like hearing things over and over and again. That repetitiveness makes you understand things. It makes it stick in your brain. So if you go to class and you hear it for the first time, after class, which is my third topic that I will or point that I will mention, but after class, summarize everything and revise it yourself. And then when you actually study for the test or exam, then it's 3 times and then it just stuck. But also on that note, it is also okay if you cannot attend all of your classes. I know some courses are crammed together and you just cannot get to all your classes. Like, I remember with my sister 1 year, she was studying, I was busy with my articles, and she was just so overwhelmed with everything going on, and she had to go to a class. And we sat back and we were just like, you know, do you really need to go to this class? Like, will you lose any points? Like, will you lose anything? She was like, no. And then we were like, okay, can you get the information from someone else? Yes, she could. And then we were like, okay, you're busy studying for a very important test that's actually like way more important than going to that class. And then we made the conclusion, she's going to skip the class and she's going to study. So it's like, if you need to skip a class, be clever about it. And if it helps you in another way, then it's okay. But most of all, go to your classes, try to put in the hours there as well, doing your homework. And then also, if there's extra class, obviously go for extra class, and just put in that effort. Like, it's not just going to be given to you, especially if you need to work hard at it, you know, like it doesn't come to you quite easily. Like, you really would need to sit on your butt and just work and study. So that's just a thing, just saying, don't be lazy. Then the third one, which I think is the most important one, is to learn smart. So with this one, I'm going to try to just concise it and keep at the topic, because I feel I can like try to touch on everything here. But the main thing for me is there's two things. The first thing is the nature of repeating things, which I mentioned previously, like what I did, for instance. And this already started in school, and this really, like, something happened with my marks. Like, I was like average, below average, and then I was suddenly like, people were in school were like, where's Christelle coming from? Like, when I just like started performing, was like, where is she coming from? But the only difference I remember doing was putting in extra hours and repeating things for myself. So what I would do is, after, like, during class, obviously I will make my notes, I will have my handbook and like make notes, have an extra paper, make notes. Then after school, after university, after the class, after the day you had like your lecture, I would go back home and I would literally take the notes, the handbook, and then I have separate like file or something. I usually add files like paper, and then I'll put it in, I will file it for certain subjects, and I'll basically go through what we did that day in class, my notes, and what's in the handbook. I will summarize it, understand it, really make sense of it. If I have questions, I will make notes of it, ask my teacher or my lecturer the next day, or a friend, or, you know, just get to the bottom of it or read up on it, and then summarize it, put it in the file. And then that's already my second time. And then when I go and study for the test or the exam, it's already summarized there. I barely go back to my textbook. Like, I do obviously with certain things, but mostly it's already there, it's summarized, I already understand it, it's in a format that I, you know, can understand and follow my learnings. So that repetitiveness, like learning smart, like just repeating it to yourself, that really helps. And then also, like, I visualize things in my head. Like, I cannot just learn like I can, but it was really difficult for me to just learn based on like words, like reading a passage and paragraph, whatever, and just trying to remember it. Like, I couldn't do it that easily. Like, if I really tried to, I would. But then what I would do is I would visualize everything in my head. Even if you feel sometimes you cannot, create a picture or a story in your head. I did that with biology, with science, I did that with accounting, with auditing, with tax. If I'm speaking now about like my Chartered Accountancy, like somehow when I studied, I would like just visualize or create a story in my head, and then I would, in the test or in the exam, it would be so easy for me to bring up that visualization and bring it to paper, and then I actually understand it. Because the thing is, you can like, what's it, papagai, like parrot studying, which I mean you can do, and that's totally fine, but it's so much more enjoyable if you actually understand the work and, you know, you get what you are doing. Like, that's the whole purpose of it. You're not studying like school, yeah, fine, but if you're studying for your career, like, it's so much nicer to actually understand what you are doing and actually remembering it, because you're going to apply it one day, and then you don't want to look like a fool, like, yeah. So that's the one thing. And then also just obviously having a plan. Like, usually my plan will change, so I will have a plan for the week, if it's just normal classes, what assignments I have to do, what topics I need to get to, everything. And then obviously when it gets to exam or test week, I will have a new plan when I'm going to study what. But during that, you should also be like able to change your plan and be flexible, because sometimes you will start with your test week or exam week or whatever, and you will start with it and you will realize like, shit, you still have to do this, that, and you like starting to freak out. But the only thing is, sit back, see what is important, change your plan, and just execute it again. And don't try to think too much about the end product, because I remember with me back in the day, like I think too much like what I need, like everything I need to get to, rather than just prioritizing what I need to get now to get through today, to get through the next day, and so on. And then also what I wanted to say is that obviously with Learning Smart, it's also nice like I usually focus on very important topics, and that topics you usually know from what your lecturer said. You can see in past papers what they usually ask, and yeah, just what the lecturer emphasizes. So I would focus on that first, and usually also like the more complex topics. I will understand that, I will work on that, and then I will work out past papers, and then after that only I will go back to like the things that just doesn't seem to be important. Like sometimes you can be wrong, but most of the times you know what those things are, and I will leave it for the day 2 days before to go through. And for example, for that is like with accounting, in your first and second year you do a lot of like basic accounting, and then in your third year and your fourth year you will still get questions about that, but it would be more complex and more additional things that you learned for in your third and your fourth year. But I won't go and recap the things I learned in my first and second year. Like I would just rely on that knowledge, because I don't have time to go back on that. I will learn the new things and just know that in the test that knowledge will come up. And that's what I'm saying, like you need to understand what you're learning, because that's the reason why you have like a 3-year degree or 4 years that you study for your degree, because it's like building blocks. So if you are just gonna study to study, you're gonna struggle every year, rather than studying to understand, and then you will just see how the building blocks stack up, and at the end you only have to learn the new things and rely on your past knowledge for your other things, especially for Chartered Accountancy. My honors year really helped me, because I only had to focus on the new things I was learning, and I could rely on my basis of my undergraduate knowledge. So understand what you are doing, work out past papers, and then the other thing is, what I wanted to say on this is also just change your environment where you study. Like I usually like the library, that was like my main area, and it's like nice big desk, you can have all your books and everything, your textbook, and it's just like everyone studies, it's like a nice environment. But then sometimes I will get bored of it, then I will change back to my hostel or rest, whatever you call it, like rest, my hostel room, and I will study there. And then I will change again to, at the bottom of our my hostel, there was also like a library during exam times. Then I will go down there and just chop and change it, not too much, but like every second month I will get bored, and then I'm just motivated again by my new environment. So that's just the other thing with this point. And then the last two ones, I'll just touch on it very quickly, is obviously the fourth point is to take breaks, because I remember for myself that I think that I have so much things to do that I cannot take a break. I cannot like spend time to watch a series, to just do whatever I want, go for a walk, just eat and relax. But as much as it is important to sit behind your desk and study and be determined and hardworking, you also need to counteract that with fun in your life, and something that ignites something in you to make you want to enjoy, like wake up every day, because you're not going to wake up to study every day. That's not exciting. But if you know that you have your fun things to do as well, it's just more enjoyable. So make sure, like I would create like a good routine and a habit. Like I'm quite a routine and habit person, so maybe you are not, maybe you're more like flexible and doing things as you like, which is also fine. Just do your fun things as well. But I was quite like every day would be the same things. That just helps me to be strict with myself, and more like it's just a routine. And then I know that I can have a fun time now, watch my series, whatever, and then I know if my alarm clocks go off, I need to study. And the more I'm like strict with myself and commit to that time periods of having fun, you know, then studying, it becomes a routine and habit and fun and easy. So you just have to start with it, and then it will become easier to actually do it. And you can go for a run, exercising. Like I didn't exercise when I studied. Looking back now, obviously I didn't have a thing for it back then, whereas now I realize actually how important it is and how much it would have helped me, because it just makes you feel good. So I would give that tip if you haven't like started working out, just something. It can literally be go walking, jogging, doing a quick HIIT workout. I don't know, it just makes you happy and also feel accomplished, and that you moved your body and not just sitting like at a desk or laying on your bed watching a series. And then also like mine was definitely eating good food. Like I would take a drive to McDonald's, to my engine garage, and buy myself some nice things to eat, go lay on my bed in my hostel, and then watch series. Like whatever it is what you like, do that. I remember with my sister we would usually go on drives through like a nice neighborhood, stop at Spar or whatever, buy a nice snack, and just get out of your working or studying environment. And then lastly, get something that motivates you. So whether this is knowing that it's only 4 years, that you need to study hard, and then it's done, you qualified. Whether it is that you are going to be a doctor one day, you're going to be a teacher one day, whether you're going to provide for your family, or just like you're going to be, you know, a very smart person because you will know all this knowledge, or just the fact that you know the first semester is gone, or the second one, you know, or whatever it might be for you, just the feeling of becoming smarter and clever and knowledgeable. Like that was definitely for me a motivator, is just knowing all the knowledge I'm gaining. And I was like, I felt so smart at the end of my honors. Like I just felt like I don't know, it felt amazing, like knowing, yes, it wasn't always nice studying, but on the other side you just knew everything, and it was complex things, and then also just knowing you're gonna have a good career. And also like for me it was like knowing that I will go overseas one day, and here I'm sitting in Amsterdam and it's finally here. And one thing I want to say is it goes by much quicker than you think. While you go through it, it can feel very long, but I promise you, like I cannot believe it's 6 years ago that I've studied and 3 years ago that I've finished my articles. Like it goes by so quickly. Enjoy it while you can. Study hard, sit behind your desk, and just make the most of that time period. It's not gonna ever come back again. You might as well just study hard. But yes, these are my tips. If there's any questions you have, or any advice you want, or any specific topic you want me to elaborate on, or whatever, leave it down below. I would love to reply to you guys and speak with you guys on this. I really hope it helped someone out there. Yeah, like I don't know, like life is so much fun after studying. Like if you commit and just like put in all your effort in it, like you will, how do they say it, you will reap the seeds. So sow the seeds, whatever, you will have the benefits of it. My English is so bad, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and good luck for everyone busy studying, whether it's a degree, a diploma, a course, or just anything that you need to sit behind a desk and memorize things and understand things. It's not always easy, but you can do it. Like yeah, you can do it. If you have the motivation and dedication, you are more than able to do it. So yes, I will see you then next week in a new video, and like this video if you want to, and then also subscribe to my channel. Okay, bye bye.